So this 318, it's completed. It almost makes you feel bad to take it apart, but we're gonna do it anyway because we love Hemis.
Hey guys, Mike here. Welcome to episode 3 of our budget build series for the low buck Hemi truck. If you guys saw the last video, you saw we were cleaning out the disgusting bed of the truck. Here we're doing some final cleanup. Blake's pressure washing it while I'm running around figuring out what we need to do next. Doing a bad job of that too. But in this episode, we're going to talk more about basically what we need to do for the general game plan for doing the Hemi swap itself, what we can keep, what we probably need to get rid of, and just an all-around look at the truck after it's been cleaned, seeing its final condition. And man, it's a pretty solid truck. I really do like this truck a lot. So I'm excited to get this thing going and get a Hemi in it. All right, thanks for sticking around, guys. Here we go.
Okay, so where we finally have the truck all cleaned up here, we're able to pressure wash the junk out of the bed. We're going to do a quick overview of what we have to start the project off with. So, as you can see, a lot of that stuff is gone. We were able to get nice in the interior money shot. So we're pretty impressed with how the truck has aged thus far. We're going to have to do a little work on the doors. The regulators are busted, but the dash is in beautiful shape. The seat's in decent shape, and we have a lot to work with here.
Yep, it's definitely got that musty smell though.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so a couple things we're going to go over are our general plans, our high-level plans for this truck, and what's going to take place. Again, it is an EFI truck, so it started out life with fuel injection, but we're only going to use bits and pieces of the original fuel injection system, mostly just the tank itself and the internal sump and the relay for it. So go ahead and pop it up. Okay, so again, as you probably saw earlier, we had introduced the 318. It is really untouched. I mean, you really don't see too many in this condition where they still have the injection pump and you know, the original air cleaner and the air induction system coming through the filter. Aside from a blown head gasket, I'm really surprised that the truck is in this shape. So a couple things I want to talk about with the Hemi swap is we know we're going to do a little bit older of a Gen 3 Hemi. We're going to be searching for something somewhere around that 2004 to 2008 range because it's just very economical. It's easy to get a hold of at a decent price. We are going to pull this entire engine out, everything, the accessories, you name it. We're not going to use any of these accessories anymore. We're going to leave the original transmission in the truck, and we're going to use a flex plate adapter so that the new Hemi will bolt straight to the original transmission. So this 318, it's completed. It almost makes you feel bad to take it apart, but we're going to do it anyway because we love Hemis. What we're going to see here is the reusage of as much OE original D150 equipment as we possibly can because this is the low buck Hemi truck. And the best way to do that is to not buy things you already have. So what we're going to do is unbolt the engine. All of the accessories are going to come out with the engine. We're not going to use them. We're not going to use the fan shroud or the mechanical fan. It does have a new radiator in it, which we may or may not use, but a set of motor mounts and a flex plate adapter, we'll be able to drop the Gen 3 Hemi straight in here and bolt it up to the original transmission. The benefits there are we won't have to have a new drive shaft, we will not have to have a new shifting linkage assembly, and we will not have to kind of reinvent the wheel when it comes to mounting the transmission, all those things. So it keeps it very simple and straightforward. Another thing I would like to mention is there are currently 2 motor mounts on the market for the Hemi swaps into these trucks, both of which have pros and cons. So one, actually, I have a level here, because of the large brake booster, vacuum brake booster here, for this new Hemi cylinder head, the valve cover to clear, the engine is slightly tilted. That's how the motor mounts are designed. Usually that's not a problem. What it allows you to do, you still can retain the factory drive shaft, and you can still retain a few other things when it comes to like the mounting and whatnot. Problem is, as the motor is tilted, the engine's tilted, your shifting linkages from the steering column, they also tilt as well, and they go into a binding situation, and it just doesn't feel original. It doesn't work as well. So that's kind of the con there. But the pros, you don't have to buy a new drive shaft. Mounting's a lot easier. There's another one that mounts the entire powertrain around 1.5 to 2 inches forward. It clears the brake booster, but then you look at potential drive shaft differences. You have to buy specific exhaust manifolds in some cases. You have to buy the transmission cross member, so the costs really stack up. Another thing that I don't really like about that system is, in a pickup truck especially, you're already weight heavy towards the front of the truck. So by taking that large amount of mass, that engine, and pulling it towards the grill another couple inches, you're not helping the weight balance any more than it has ever been. So I'm not really fond of that, but it does have the pro of a lot more space near the firewall and things that just make it aesthetically pleasing. The engine does not tilt. So that's something I did want to mention. We haven't decided which mounts we're going to use yet, but I have a tendency to believe we're going to go with the first one I mentioned, with the engine slightly tilted, because it's going to save us a lot of money in the long run. Okay? So, that being said, I think we should go have some fun with this guy, Mike. What do you think?
What? What are we doing?
I wonder if it'll do a burnout.
That's a good question.
Shotgun.
Let's see. How's the body on this thing, Blake? We didn't really talk about the body too much, did we? Is it?
The body is in great shape. So as far as D150s go, the rust is just, I don't want to say non-existent. We have some surface rust, some good patina on the hood.
Yeah,
but
we do.
There's no cancer spots on this guy anywhere. We don't have any in the drip rail, which is very popular on these trucks, in the bed that I mentioned previously. It really is a solid truck. I'm impressed with the way the paint on the lower half of the truck has held up all these years.
It is.
Your red's pretty vibrant. The gray's still good.
You think that's the factory gray?
Yes, that's factory.
Wow.
That has to be
It
factory.
looks really good.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks better than the red.
So I think what we should probably do is just clean it up and maybe slap a little clear on it. Keep it ratty looking a little bit.
There we go.
Yeah. The original turbine wheels, no massive curb rash. They could use a good cleaning, but they're not in bad shape. I don't know what kind of tires those are.
Lion Sport. Man, King of the Jungle. That's the new name for this thing. Lion Beast. We're not naming this truck Smirnoff Ice. I like Zima. Alright.
Are we going to bring Zima to SEMA?
Shh. It's not the SEMA truck. It's the Zima truck.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Those guys are going to sponsor us. Wait, I think they're bankrupt. Never mind.
What?
Alright, burnout time.
We're not